All right, everybody. I got a little treat, something a little different for everybody that wants to come and get a goat and go. So I'm going to do something a little different. Did a Bigfoot, or my experience with Bigfoot. I want to talk about whenever I was a young man at 15. Another paranormal experience that I had. It was unexplainable. It was witnessed by over 90 other people, unbeknownst to my friend and I that witnessed it as it happened. I was 15, so that's older than a lot of people. That many years ago. We were up on Jay's track riding our dirt bikes, and my best friend Bruce, he was along with me, and we were up there together riding. It was a hot afternoon. We were all hot and sweaty. Took our helmets off, and it was just drenched in sweat. And so we decided to take a break, sit down on the berm. Had some tires, sitting on the tires there, drinking some water. You could hear an airplane above us, but we couldn't see it. Both of us looking up in the air just like this. It sounded like it was right above us. Bruce was looking at it as well. Kind of both looked at each other, gave that look like, hey, what's going on? WTF? Where's that plane? And it was a very nice day. It was, from what I remember, just some puffy clouds, blue sky. And we're sitting there just wondering where it's at, and all of a sudden this big bright light appeared. But before that light appeared, there was what sounded to be like rolling thunder, but not quite thunder. It just kind of rolled. It was weird. Just that. Then the light, and first thing I thought was, there's the plane. Sunlight's reflecting off the fuselage and is making a real bright light. That maybe be just heat lightning or something of that nature, and don't really know what that was. Then there was some more rolling thunder. The light disappeared. Now that freaked me out, and I remember looking to see where the sun was at that point in time, and nothing was. We weren't having a solar eclipse or anything, so the sun was shining, and there's no reason why that light should have disappeared, that I presumed was coming off the plane. Then there was more rolling thunder. Right where that big light was, right to the sides, two smaller lights came out. And then they stayed there for a few seconds. Then there was more rolling thunder. And this is where it gets weird. It was definitely an airplane. It was definitely above us. But the way it appeared, it came out of a portal. I kid you not. It was the most strange thing to ever witness, especially 15 years old. I didn't know too much about, we had stuff about UFOs and Hexburg in Pennsylvania. And, this happened in Rostraver, Pennsylvania. I'm 60, so 15. Then you do the math and see if you want to try and go into the archives and find all the reports to that. WDVE 102.5 reported it the following day. And that's how I'm aware of the 90 other people witnessing what we just witnessed. This plane came out of the sky. Imagine my hand's just a blue sky. And the first thing we see is the prop. Okay, and we can hear it. And it's more coming on us like this. And we can see it coming out. Then you can see the where the pilot was sitting in the cabin, then the fuselage and the wings, and then the tail, and then tail numbers. You can see everything. It made a 90-degree turn to our right, its left, and looked like it was going down. And we were on a big hill. And that big hill pretty much was taller than all the other little hilltops around there in Pennsylvania. It's kind of hilly area. And this is just really hilly in this section of it all. And it looked like it went down behind the hill. And both of us were like, oh crap, we got to get out of here. And the reason we had to get out of there because we had to break the law, ride our dirt bikes on about 3 miles of paved road. And Bruce is only 14, I'm 15, and we got to find our way back before the cops get there and first responders. So we're shitting bricks. And so we hurried up, put our water away, and start our motorcycles, and we're gone. We're out of there. And we go home, and we're waiting to hear. I was, at least, and Bruce went to his house. I went to my house. We didn't call each other or speak about it then until the next morning. Show up at his house because it was on my mind. I had to talk to him about it, and so we're sitting there. We just got done talking about it, and Bruce said, hey, maybe we shouldn't tell anybody. I'm like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't, you know. But what if that plane went down? Well, we'll hear something about it. They'd have to know something if a plane went down. I'm like, you're right about that, you know. And so we're sitting there listening, and all of a sudden, breaking news out of Rostraver Township, near the Rostraver Airport. Got 90 plus, and if I remember correctly, 93, 98 people, one of those two, called in to verify that they witnessed a plane going down. Now, they didn't say that this plane came out of a portal. And by God, we were sitting almost right underneath it. So I know what we saw. Through the years, you know, Bruce's and I story pretty much have changed, but the core principle is still the same. That plane came out of nowhere. You know, each person remembers things differently, but I vividly remember the rolling thunder, then the light, then the more rolling thunder disappears, and more rolling thunder. Then there's two lights, more rolling thunder, and the light in this plane disappears out of nowhere. It was like behind a veil, you know. So we're talking about portals now, all these things, and different aspects of the internet. And so all these little things that have happened to me in my lifetime, it's like, wow, other people have experienced these things. They have seen and witnessed portals in many different places. Now, on WDVE 102.5 that day, clearly stated, and I clearly remember them saying that this is a common occurrence around county airports. And I was like, common occurrence, a plane coming out of nowhere, just atomizing into something out of nowhere, from nowhere. It wasn't coming at us. We were looking for it well before we saw it. We heard it, and we were looking for it. So we were looking right where that light was. The sound of the aircraft was coming right from that light. And so there's no way that plane came in from any other direction. It came right at us. It was almost right over top of us. And, you know, it was within 1,000 yards of us, if I were to guess now. That's how, I mean, I could read the tail letters with my naked eye. And we had been riding all day, so got sweat in my eyes, got dust in my eyes, you know. So if there was any way of reducing my eyesight, that would have done it. But it was too vivid, it was too clear. And of course, you know, I don't have a memory for that, remembering a tail number of a airplane or anything of that nature. We were too freaked out. And then we had to worry about getting home without getting caught, and then losing our opportunity to be able to drive legally. So we were taking some big risk being out there on the track, but that's what you do when you're kids. You know, you gotta push the limit, and we pushed the limit that day. And the limits of physics was definitely stretched, to say the least. Well, thank you for listening to my little story here. It's true. You know, I just share it every once in a while, sitting around the campfire, and I was out here with the goats. So I decided to maybe share that story a little bit. So yeah, portals. I've been convinced of it since I was 15. And so you can believe it. You don't have to believe it. No one's going to force you to believe it. You can deny it. Call me a liar. I don't care. It don't matter to me. Because I know I'm telling the truth. That's why. And it wasn't some deranged delusion, mass delusion between Bruce and I. Because people that we didn't even know or see or were aware of called it in as a plane crash. Oh, by the way, they never found a plane. They never found a plane. Forgot to add that part. They did send out a search and rescue and first responders, and they went to the area. And from the description that WDV 102.5 out of Pittsburgh made, it matched exactly what we saw. So, yeah, no plane. Everybody saw it. Not everybody, but 90 plus people saw it. So you tell me. You tell me. Write it down in the comments down there, and we'll have a discussion about it. What do you think it was? And don't give me this psycho bullcrap that we were on drugs or anything. It's 15. Okay? So remember, if you're too chubby or too old to carry your own load, get a pack and go. Have a great day. Bye.